Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 24th of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. This is a crackerjack week. There's so much going on. I'm really excited to share it with you. What I'm going to do is give you the overall strands which influence us all collectively, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs in much greater detail, from Aries through to Pisces. So as we start this week, Saturn has ended its retrograde, but it remains in a very attritional right angle with Uranus. So I need to explore that for each of the signs. We also have the Sun and Venus have moved together into the sign of Scorpio. Now, the Sun in Scorpio is very much about transformations. It's where we're most invested or devoted. But Venus technically is not at its best in the sign of Scorpio. But of course, it did have that magical connection with the Sun last Saturday, where they were exactly side by side. So the potential to continue a dialogue around a relationship matter is there, but I think what we get now is much more into the deeper analysis, the real politic of what some relationships are about, and perhaps the real politic about our longer term financial situation too. Now, of course, we have the partial solar eclipse on Tuesday, which on the face of it does give us some opportunities. But it works in tandem with the total lunar eclipse of the 8th of November, which is truly astonishingly tough. So I think we are about to see a massive reset globally when it comes to energy consumption, the price of things, the cost of fuel and foodstuffs have all been going up. But I don't think we've seen the end of how this restructuring is going to play out. However, on Friday, Jupiter, the planet of growth, retreats in its retrograde back into one of the two signs that it governs, the sign of Pisces, where its rulership is a much more spiritual dimension. It's going to continue the retrograde until November the 23rd, but it will stay in Pisces through to the 20th of December and return to Aries. So there may be something of a deep and contemplative strand that we really need to consider quite carefully through this change. Now on Sunday, Mars slams on the brakes, goes into a retrograde through to the 12th of January. But it's going to stay in the sign of Gemini through to the 25th of March. But for the whole of October, the whole of November, it is within 3 degrees in a square with Neptune. And that's creating quite a lot of distortion. So that's something else I need to explore for each of the 12 signs for you. So please stay with me. You can see an enormous amount of celestial action. If you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data, of time, date and place, I can give you your forecast for next year, but if you order it in 22, you'll get the rest of this year 3. But in my special package, you can also get your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can help you to understand some of the repetitive patterns in your existence, but also how you can perhaps change some of the more challenging ones, but also work with the more encouraging energy in a much more productive way. And there's 30% off. Please see the link below. So Leo, your week commencing the 24th of October forecast, absolutely action-packed. Saturn has gone direct in your sector of relating. That's definitely something to appreciate. It's possible that since the 4th of June, there have been some real tensions. Now, the fact that Saturn continues to clash with the rather attritional energies of Uranus in your sector of career means that through to the first week of December, you still need to work at trying to be as diplomatic as possible in your approach in that area. The partial solar eclipse this week can see you wanting to improve your home environment. That could be decoratively, it could be with some new furniture or soft furnishings. Perhaps for some lions, even thinking about moving altogether. Now, if you don't see signs of that exactly this week, just know that the energy of this event can feed its way into the next 6 months. So even if you're making changes to your immediate environment, it could be something else happens further down the track that could be around actually where you live. So some kind of movement is possible. Now, Jupiter is going to be rewinding out of your sister fire sign of Aries. So if you have felt a little bit blunted in terms of the ability to travel or to explore or to be adventurous, you can use the energy of Jupiter now to think more deeply about where you're most invested in your life, whether it's emotionally or even in a more practical financial way. But Neptune in Pisces lays in wait, ready for its co-regent Jupiter to arrive, and it is clashing with Mars. So when it comes to your financial situation, Mars is in the sign of Gemini, where it's bright and thrusting, opinionated. It can also give us a bit of a push to be more active, but I feel that it's possible that in the last few weeks you have actually felt a lot more sluggish or have been consumed much more with financial realities, like us all perhaps. But I think Mars is square with Neptune through to the end of this month, and then the end of Neptune. It's just saying that whatever your future plans are and the thrust that Mars is trying to give you, the fact that it goes into retrograde is asking you to temper some of your longer term plans with one foot very much on terra firma when it comes to the long-term financial implications. Because what Neptune can do is distort, and really Neptune square Mars can be the trickster influence bar none. So very important to be grounded. Also, Mercury and Pluto are in a tense right angle. If there is somebody at work who tends, as you see it, to be a little critical or piercing in their approach to what you're trying to do, Pluto in the 6th house, try to see that perhaps they have a point of view that is different to yours. It may be creating some tension. Maybe you see it that they're being rather dogmatic. But I would try to use the soothing, nurturing energies of the partial solar eclipse being in conjunction with Venus to try to understand why someone may be a bit needled, or why they feel that maybe you should take a bit more of a more emotional approach to whatever it is you feel the point of contention is about. Because the 4th house, of course, where this partial solar eclipse occurs, is very Cancerian. So staying in touch with how things feel is essential during this period of time.